Gold prospecting has taken me to some of the most amazing places. From areas that look like they're out of Lord of the Rings.
Hello, Frodo.
Or looking for Blackbeard's treasure.
Detect the sand at 6 inches down. Let's just see if that's true.
Or the best places, the ones that give you gold nuggets.
Oh, what? Ah! I told you to only take one chunk to change the day.
Let me introduce you to the people.
Rescue the buckets, Gadsy.
And the environments that make Australia so special.
When's the best time to come get your tyres done?
Probably about 4 o'clock the day before a long weekend.
But this adventure starts 4 hours earlier than that.
I have had my eye on this spot for so long, and today the water is finally low enough after all the storms to go through and work it. And my first test pan is proving that I might be onto something.
I took a single scoop of dirt out from this little bedrock depression, which is directly in line with where the fast water runs in flood.
And that's really important because this is a nugget or nothing creek. It means that you get really big chunks and maybe a couple of little flakes in a good pan.
Holy crap, that is huge.
And nuggets travel in the fast water.
A really good indication of fast moving water that's going to be depositing nuggets is lead shot, and in just sand I got 3 lead shot and a bunch of flour gold.
Well, our gold is going to be hidden in these crevices where rocks are packed up just like that, so we've got to bust this bedrock open and get all that out.
I don't care what anyone says, that looks pretty damn good to me. That is one crispy frog.
Please turn into a prince. Please turn into a prince.
It didn't, but worth a shot, right? The trick to working fast water deposits is to take your time. Often there's not much gravel in the fast water, and it's hard to access. And remember, you're not looking for heaps of specks, you're looking for big chunks.
Because this is nugget or nothing territory, I'm putting the rocks so I can scan them with a metal detector later, just in case.
This day I'd chosen to run all my crevice dirt through a river sluice, which is much quicker and easier than panning.
I've literally only done 4 scoops and I've got a nice picker in the mat, and there's lead in almost every single top cell.
Even though I'm not working a huge quantity of soil, I'm literally just crevicing. The river sluice saves me energy, so I should be able to do more dirt. Anytime you're working out of a bucket, generally speaking, the last bit at the bottom will hold a reasonable amount of gold because it all settles to the bottom as you work it.
So I tipped all the dirt into the bottom of the bucket. Look at the gold that came out.
There is no way this is not going to be a good day.
There's no real way to make this any quicker. It's just rinse and repeat this tedious process. That's some mighty fine step in there, Zach.
I am 3 scoops in and the gold coming out of this is pretty dang incredible. Look at that.
Whilst I thought that gold was incredible, it wasn't until the very next test pan that I found a truly good deposit.
Look at the gold. 100% of that gold has come off the surface. So I got to get into these cracks and crevices because that's where our really good gold is likely going to be hiding. I got to go there. I got to work there. You're doing a good job. You supervisor, thank you.
Big gold tends to drop out first, so it takes a lot less velocity dropping off in the water to make it sink. And I was just looking at this section here and I thought, that looks likely. There's a lot of big rocks just there and it's close to bedrock. I'm going to find out.
After seeing what's in my sluice, I do think we're going to see gold. The question is how much. Look at those shotgun pellets. Come on, gold. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, we got one nice picker and a few flakes. Shotgun pellets and that beautiful piece of gold. We are on the right track. Nugget or nothing ground is pretty impressive. That means I can work that whole section there. There is no way I'm getting this all done in one single sitting. I'm gonna have to come back and do a few. We got the little picker that I got earlier, and then right next to it, a nice flake and a million shotgun pellets. Actually, I have lead like down to here. Mick, I've been mining. I found a shotgun pellet, like a whole factory of them. Ah, you've been detecting. Honestly, I feel like I'm in Gold Rush white water because the amount of lead that I'm seeing in that sluice box is starting to look exactly like their sluice boxes when they finish dredging. It's very lightly raining, and he's made a house. Zach, I love it. I love that house. I've got gold along that whole length, and then we came up here and we worked this section out, and now I'm looking up here, and this is super interesting because we've got a sharp piece of angled bedrock that cuts straight across the creek, and then it rises on the other side. This little channel should be a concentrator, and we can tell because it's packed full of big rocks, and it's directly in line with where we've been finding the nice gold.
And then the disaster happened.
If the audio is all stuffed up, at least you know why.
After treating my phone like a copy of 007's GoldenEye on Nintendo 64, we got back to clearing rocks.
I didn't really collect that much dirt, but we're still going to run it. Y'all want to see some lead? Oh my god. I've had all of the shotgun pellets. I just tipped the dregs of the bucket into my pan. Look at that. Look at the lead and the gold. Oh baby. Now a smart man would suck them up in your snuffer bottle, but I am not a smart man.
The bedrock concentrator I was working was extremely fractured. By breaking it up with a pick, I allowed the gold that was trapped within the bedrock to fall out.
This is the premium pay dirt layer. Bedrock fractures, and when bedrock fractures, it allows gold to sink into it. Really smooth, hard bedrock with no cracks in it, it's no good. Gold doesn't collect on it. When it's fractured and breaking up, you can get gold as deep as 6 foot into the bedrock, depending on the type that it is. Just found a huge bedrock trench. It just goes down and down and down. It's elbow deep. It's still going down. I've given Mick a pan of that dirt to see what's in it, while this whole tub is full of dirt out of that crevice. Therefore, we're going to find out if there's any gold in it, because with the amount of lead that we pulled off this bit of bedrock, and given that that crevice precedes all this, I think we're going to see a lot of lead. Hopefully some gold. Oh, it's loading with gold. Have a go at that. There's literally a whole ribbon of it there. Every single cell in the Dream Mat is loaded with shotgun pellets too. There is not one that doesn't have at least a dozen in it. Unfortunately for I have an appointment that I've got to get to that is kind of unavoidable, because if I don't go to it, I won't have new tyres in my car. Therefore, me and all of my lead are going to get out of the creek.
Alright, don't drop it, Chris. Don't let me drop it.
Holy Besides all of the shotgun pellets, every single cell is packed with gold. Look at that.
At this point, I discovered that there was water behind the lens, making everything look slightly Dreamtime-ish.
Nonetheless, we're going to see what we got for today and then get out of this bloody rain.
There are so many shotgun pellets in this pan right now. Oh my god. I've never seen that much lead in a pan before. Oh, the gold! It's a pan full of pickers. It's a pan full of pickers. For some scale, look at that. I'm coming back. We'll finish this spot. We'll finish it. If someone doesn't get it before me, we'll finish it. If someone gets it before me, congratulations. I hope you had as much fun as I had.
Those words would come back to haunt me. But for now, I had tyres to attend to.
There's a little bit of tread left on these, but when you get bogged on grass, yeah, you know it's time to upgrade. I walk in and he offers me a hat. You better be serious with this hat offer.
Sure am.
Oh, yes! I left my hat at home, that's freaking perfect. I look good.
You do?
I look good. He wants to go because it's Friday and there's beers. They're mine, apparently. Yep. If I get bogged on grass with this, we're in trouble. The one good thing about having a hoist is you get to see where all your oil leaks are, if you've got any. Actually, it looks pretty good under here. That's not so bad. And retrieve your sticks.
Eventually, I let the professionals get back to doing professional stuff and planned to trip out with Gadsy through a new mine we've never visited before.
Into the small hole I go. The log's all slimy. Oh, that's not these good things on my texture feels. Sorry, mosquitoes. We have never pulled up at a place like so beautiful and convenient. This is in the middle of the bush. Look at this! Look! There's no evidence of other humans here at all. I spoke too soon, it's a fireplace. Yeah, that's not been used in a long time. I feel like we've walked into Lord of the Rings. Oh, we like this. That is a man-made edge there. So that's our first mine. Woo, that's deep. You didn't tell me you brought your bondage gear today. This is not Gadsy's bondage gear. That's abseil equipment, Gadsy.
Thanks.
We're going to do the obligatory, this is for my male fans, the clang bang test. There's just more and more and more. We've only walked up one string. There's more strings over on the ridge, so they just keep going. And look at the ore. I am taking this to crush and sample because that looks so good.
Just a small hole. Just a real small hobbit hole. Bilbo had teeth.
See that kind of hand stacking is only done for one reason. In all likelihood, that's the base for a stamp battery, which means they were processing ore here, which means it was an incredibly rich mine, because they only ever had batteries at the most productive mines.
And that guess turned out to be correct. Gadsy ended up finding the history of not only the mine, but the stamp battery, which was pulled down at the start of World War I for scrap metal. After all the exploring though, it was finally time to see if we couldn't find some gold.
Sir, did you just tell me that there is a creek of sparkling water here? Oh, I didn't even see that. That's a big hole. That's a big hole. Would you like to be a scale model?
Yeah, I will. I'm 5'11". I'm not 6 foot. Sorry, ladies.
Yeah, that's the first level. There's a level behind him. We've got to be careful, eh? Like, look up and live. It's springtime, so it's breeding season. That, my international friends, is a drop bear footprint. There you go. Yep, you can see the claws
Look how big it is.
up in there. And we are literally right next to their favourite types of trees. Eucalypts. This is why you got to do the look up and live, not like what we're doing, looking down. You gotta do this. There's been a lot of talk on Facebook about a proposed set of laws that are coming into Victoria. If you don't walk on a designated parks track, they can fine you $1,500. Let me just give you an example of that. See that? That's a road. See that? That's also a road right there. But that turns out that is an 1800s mining road, and that road there is what Parks looks after. It's so maintained.
Yeah, I'm glad I've got my walking permit.
How is a road that is 170 years old in better condition than a parks track that's only been here for 50 years, Gadsy? What the hell is that?
What the is that? I don't know.
That is definitely one of them walking cameras.
Yeah.
Have you got your permit?
No, I don't. I haven't got my kneeling permit either.
I haven't got my peeing permit.
I haven't got my looking permit.
I forgot to bring my breathing permit.
Oh, there's...
I got my 14-inch steel gold pan and a classifier, and we're going to take a sample from an erosion gutter where if there is any gold shedding off the hillside, it should be concentrating. "99% of the time that you do this, you're going to find absolutely nothing. But it's usually that one time you hit it that it's like, What's your prediction?
5 billion nuggets.
5 billion nuggets? Yeah. I mean, like, aim a little higher next time. I'm not feeling lucky for your 5 billion. I'm going to call that 0.
Yeah.
0 nuggets. I guess it's my turn to fail. Yeah. The only reason I'll find gold is because I'm paying homage to the old timers with a steel pan. Can't, Steely. One dot. One dot. One dot. Oh, one dot. One dot. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I got a piece. It's a puglet. Exploring is about testing everything. If you go to a new area that you've never done before, don't just go and look in the obvious spots. Check everything, anything that takes your curiosity, like this thing. That is the battery stamper stand, and directly down from it, we have a pile of rock. And this pile of rock is really odd. It's just sitting in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by nothing else. We have a hunch that maybe that's some wash dirt they didn't process. Gives you best impression of a picker.
Bit of a weird mix.
Oh, how many? Is that one? I can see gold there.
I could see one. Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
is.
that's one. That's definitely a piece.
Wow.
Yay!
There's a few micros.
That pile of dirt has gold in it. Gazzy,
Yeah,
I just did a pan.
I know you did.
Same pile, but from the very top. Gazzy took his from the side.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a little picker and a heap of micro gold that's very hard to show you on camera. Something a little bit different. We've tested the piles, we've detected, we've had a bit of a look. The buckets are rolling away. Rescue the buckets, Gadsy! That pile right there is one of the bigger mines in the area that we've found so far. What we're doing is we're coming below it so that gravity would be taking any float rock or any veining down the hillside directly to us. And we're going to punch a hole down and just see what happens, see what kind of layers there are. If we hit a layer of float rock, we're going to take a couple of buckets worth, process it and see if there's any gold shedding down the hillside. We're well on our way to China. We're looking for a gravel layer and we're seeing little tiny pieces of gravel come out. We found some sort of float layer. It's going to be hard to tell how much rock is in it until we get it wet because the clay is clumping around it real hard. So we dug as deep as we could. There might be gold, there might not be, but this is loaming. If there's gold shedding down this hill, it means we can dry wash it or even sluice it because the water's not that far away. Skinny jeans. I don't have a hole permit, so we've got to fill this back in.
Did you bring your shovel permit?
Ah!
What about your dirt permit?
Ah! Gravity permit. Ah.
One thing. Did you get your hole filler permit? You're going to have to dig all that out again until you get your permit.
I quit!
True prospecting takes time and considerable effort.
I used the classifier to help break the clay down, but I threw all the rocks in there just in case there are any specimens or something that are floating down the hill. I don't think we're going to see any gold.
These two buckets are a very small representative sample of what's coming down that hillside.
Really clay based, so I'm just trying to break it right up.
But there are multiple factors that affect total gold take.
If we get even one speck in this, I'm going to be really happy.
Now, after classifying and panning down two buckets, we discovered this is certainly a spot we need to come back and revisit and put in a bit more effort.
So that's our gold. It means that it is definitely traveling down the hill, but we didn't hit the layer that it's really traveling in. Exploring's always hard work. It's always hard work. It's never like you hit it on the first day. It's very rare that happens. So we'll be back.
But it was time to go back to the shotgun pellet heaven, only to find the shovel doggers had visited.
That was the spot that I left 2 days ago, and Mick came back to find all of that rock and all that grass in a massive pile, and he's flattened it back out to reclimate the ground a little bit. But obviously someone has come and cleaned that out, so I'm going to move places. The spot I've chosen is this really obvious bedrock bar that's cutting directly across the creek. And I'm going to use the Nightmare Special to scratch all the gravel from the bottom of that V into a spot I can suck it up with my yabby pump. That certainly was not as exciting as the first pan out of the last spot I worked, but you know, shovel doggers.
Classifying big buckets of dirt to work is very energy consuming. Sometimes it's easy just to classify a pan of dirt and tip it down your river sluice. And if you tip the dirt over the riffles, you can have a look in the bottom of the pan to see if there's any gold there.
Yay, we're on the board, first spec. By the feel of that crack, it's clean in 2 pans. They went over everything we'd already worked and then stripped a whole heap of the ground that I wanted to hit, but they failed to come up here. This is the first stretch of slack water where the gold should be depositing, and it's been channeled by this big rock here, so as the fast water comes down the creek, everything should hug this side.
And don't stress, we always check the classifier for nuggets.
Alright, let's see if we're going to be able to tip this stuff through the sluice. Oh! Oh! Yep. Yeah, it's a bow tie of gold. Ah! Look at that! Yeah, we're going to be able to tip that through the sluice for sure.
I might have my pen license, but I certainly don't have my standing license.
Whoa! Whoa. Nope. 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 Come on, Papa needs a brand new pair of shoes.
Because we're able to check the gold in the bottom of every pan that I shake down the sluice, it allows you to follow the gold, and therefore you don't have to keep test panning. And because this is nugget or nothing ground, it's just a numbers game. The more dirt you work, the better your chances of finding a nice piece, which is what was about to happen.
Certainly not as rich as the start of the week. There was one nice little piece in that cell.
No, it wasn't that big. It's a little bigger.
I really have no idea how this spot's going to pay out. It might pay out, it might not pay out. It's definitely nowhere near as good as the spot I found a couple days ago. But you only need that one bit to make your whole day good. Digging from the same spot, and Mick pulled these little bits out. Look at that. Yeah, that's cool. But Mick's effort for the day, full lead mining. That's probably $2 a lead, which is saying something. Come on, show me a good spec. Just one.
Mick actually found 13 grams of lead that day. And I was about to find the pickers and nuggets the shovel doggers had missed.
I'm finally seeing a couple pieces of gold in the cell. Yeah! Compared to the other day where every single pan I'd see new pieces of gold and heaps of lead, this has been a tough day. What I've been doing is shaking the dirt over the top of the riffles into the sluice so that I can check the dregs in the pan. That gives me an idea if I'm following the gold or not. So basically, now that I've done a rough pan, we can actually check to see what's in here. And if there's gold, we know we can continue. And if there's no gold, we know we can probably look in a slightly different area where we're digging. Oh, shotgun pellets, look at... Oh, what? What? Yeah! Ah! I told you to only take one chunk to change the day.
That's the one.
That's the one.
That's the day.
Yeah. Well...
Noise.
Shovel Dog has missed that one.
Suckers.
I don't know. I think this is going to fit. Yeah. Oh, well. That's still pretty good.
Mick and I put in a final effort to clear the bedrock of any gravel above where we'd previously worked.
Before we run out of time today, we thought we'd just classify down a tub of material and run that through. And because we have no little shovel, we're using hands. You're so much more delicate than I.
Hand shovels work pretty good in my opinion.
I just spotted something in the mat. Nick wasn't sure if it was already there, but nope. We got a little piece again. Look at that right there. Yeah, baby. Yeah. We literally shifted forward about 1 foot closer to where I finished up the other day, and now the gold's starting to come out. To show you just how close you can be to the pay streak and still be off it. That is literally the difference that 1 foot can make. But we are being rewarded by nuggets in pockets.
And just like that, it was once again time to head home, because I had a big trip the next day.
Most of those shotgun pellets and all of that gold came out in that last bucket. That is good. I'm literally only going to take the big rocks out of this pan, and I'm going to do the rest of it at home with what I got the other day. I just want to have a quick squiz. This is not including any of the gold that I got in test pans. So that nugget and the piece of bow tie gold. And gold, oh yeah, we got a few bits. Nowhere near as much gold as we got the other day, but still nice coarse flakes. This is everything that I managed to collect for the 2 days. Just look at the amount of lead in there, and obviously there is some real nice pieces of gold hiding amongst it.
Finding gold is always exciting, but what I find just as exciting is taking Fern to new places.
This is the worst highway in all of Australia. Well, that's probably an overstatement, but you know, if you can avoid it. Okay, it's not really that bad, but it's very windy and you have to do like 40 along the whole thing. We're only doing it to take Fern to the beach. 6 hours later and we're finally here. I see the beach. Fernster, are you ready for this? Oh my god. What is that? Oh my god. Free. Come on. Come on. It took 6 hours to get here. Google said 4, but they didn't take into account that you have to do 40 over the entire mountain range. And to every single subscriber that I met in Omeo, it was good meeting you. Never feel like a stranger. Come say hi. Well, I certainly didn't drive 6 hours to not go metal detecting on the beach for the first time ever. So let's get to that. I have been at this for 40 minutes or more. And if I could turn the volume of the ocean down, that'd be great, but I can't. And I haven't even found a bottle top. Nothing. Nothing. No one loses anything here. You're all too good to lose coins. Speak of the devil and they shall appear. I finally got a signal. It's probably a bit of junk, but I'm digging it. I'm running in beach 1. Yeah, it's a 5. It's probably going to be a bit of aluminium. Detector's saying it's 6 inches down. So let's just see if that's true. What's up, Fern? Can I dig there, please? Ah! That took entirely too long to find this, but hey, I found something. Clearly I am not in the spot for relics and rings and things. I probably got to be over where all the people are, but nonetheless, it was all about bringing that dingus to the beach, so mission successful, really. Driving back along the Great Alpine Road, and there's one road. This is the only road. It goes for 137 kilometers of windy bush tracks. And somehow on this one road, we missed the only town that we could have stopped to have a rest. Honestly, it felt like we were on that highway for years, but we got back. And after cleaning up all the gold I got for 2 sessions, totaling about 6 hours, this is what it looks like. I can hear the comments already. Chris, that's not a nugget. Call it for what it is. Well, you only get to say that if you come here and find a better piece. Because that, ladies and gentlemen, is my fat little nugget. And my best guess is that it weighs 0.26. Whoa! Not bad. I'm actually going to give that nugget away if this video hits 5,000 likes and 500 comments. Ship free anywhere in the world. And right before we weigh out the rest of the gold, I wanted to say a massive thank you to every single patron that's jumped on board over the last month. 100% of the profits that I get from Patreon get reinvested into the channel to do things like prize draws and cover the running costs of the channel, such as the diesel to get into the gold fields, which is quite expensive. We're about to launch a brand new tier on Patreon. If there's something that you're interested in, the link is in the description below. But for now, the gold. I'm thinking we're going to be just under a gram. Let's go with 0.79. Leave your guess in the comments below. Okay, we are way over that. 1.36 grams. For just 6 hours of prospecting? That is worth 110 Australian dollars at the time of recording. Nice. Till next time, please give your dog a big scratch behind the ears for me. Peace, and I'm out.